Very good.
And now we're live.
We're live.
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
Awesome. It says your live show will begin shortly.
And then it fades in to the real thing. Look at that. It's very fancy.
Oh, it's kind of like my vision will be in 2 hours from now, fading in and out. There it is, faded in. Yeah, look at that. It's a picture of me going, but we're not there yet. Look at that beard. Holy smokes, I look like hell. And you can see where I stopped shaving altogether. So like the top part, like the straggly little whiskers that don't really have a place on your face, like homeless people in your town.
I think during coronavirus, it's fine.
I think everybody is.
Yeah, it's acceptable now.
Wearing this PJs during the day.
It's my work outfit.
Yeah. A lot less laundry.
True.
Saving water.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're doing another micro podcast.
Yeah. So let's get an update.
Welcome.
How are you guys doing with your social distancing and isolation? How are we doing with that? You guys, Adriel, you were working from home, and the only thing that changed for you is now you got the kids. So how's that going with the kids?
It's fine. They're doing their kid online thing these days. They started today, and I've been playing video games with IPSC shooter in your area there, Mr. Kane, and been playing lots of video games.
So you've been getting your online gaming on. You sent me a link to download some stuff, but I am an adult and have responsibilities.
Okay.
And have not had time to do that. I have things to do.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to it shortly. And I suspect, Adriel, that you and our gaming abilities are somewhat on par.
You would be mistaken.
Oh yeah, you a shark?
Well, no, but like I played quite a bit of first-person shooter.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. It's like I'm just getting ramped up on Tarkov right now, but I'll get there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right then. So
you should start with Counter-Strike because it's popular, it's free, it's easy, it's very approachable.
Get trained up on Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and we'll get you in Tarkov there. Or at least like familiarize yourself with it a little bit, and then we'll jump into it. Or we could just jump into it right away.
Oh no, that would just be frustrating, and then I would quit. It's like your first gun is an open gun. What were you thinking?
After the show here, I can stream a game, and you can see what it's like.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Not really.
No. Not into video games. You can mod up AK-47s. Yeah. You can mod up M14s. Lots of modifying you can do there.
I like to modify AR-15s, which we'll talk about on Thursday. But Kelly, I like your outfit. You're looking preppery. You got some camo on.
Full on prep, yeah.
Yeah, you got some plaid on.
Mm-hmm.
I've
been prepping for prep by watching Doomsday Prepper.
Yeah.
And then the Hunger Games as well.
Yes, that will tell you what it's like to be poor and hungry. That's for sure. I started reading a Diary of Anne Frank, just to try and get in the right headspace.
Oh, okay. I was going to say to lighten the mood, but it's not. Go ahead.
Well, I spent a lot of time upstairs.
Yeah.
In the closet.
Yep. That's the books I should be reading. So, Kelly, what's changed for you?
Nothing. So I literally have not seen anybody since Wednesday of last week. I saw my father through the door. That's it. I've been isolating myself.
Wednesday?
Yeah. So I've been
not a single soul.
Not a single person. No.
Wow, man, just you and the dogs.
Just me and the dogs. I have been working. I'm working, right? I've been working from home, but I've basically been working from about 8 in the morning till about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I haven't been going out.
Uninterrupted work time. Fantastic.
Exactly.
Well, you say that, Adriel. I think we talked about it on one of the shows. I can't keep them straight anymore. I don't even really know what day of the week it is. And
it's today.
It's today. Today is my new favorite day.
Today.
So, anyway, talked about my master's. I've applied to UNB to take a master's degree, and in counseling because I'm a good listener. Shut up. So The
Don't
deadline
ask us
is.
for a reference.
Are you interrupting me right now?
Yeah,
Stop it.
awesome.
It's not your turn to talk. Listening skills is something I'm going to take a class in. So, anyway, the deadline's tomorrow. So even though the pandemic is going on, like I need to know, right? So I touched base with 2 of my 3 references. The first person that I reached out to, man, within 10 minutes of getting the email from UNB, they got everything done, and 20 minutes later they emailed me and said, "You're good. I sent everything away," and they touched base and confirmed and stuff. I was like, fantastic. So I hadn't heard from the other 2. And so I sent them touch base with them, and one guy is like, "Yep, I did it. I did it already, and good luck." And then another guy, a week ago, I sent him an email. I was like, "Story's taking way too long." Anyway, right before the show tonight, I got an email from UNB saying we're missing a reference. Tomorrow's the deadline.
Oh shit!
Really? Tomorrow's the deadline, and you tell me now you're missing a reference? Like, you couldn't have told me 48 hours, Anyway, so I sent him a text, and he's like, "But I did it." And luckily, he knows everybody in that system. He knows the individuals there, so he has direct line to UNB, to the admissions office. So he's going to touch base tomorrow. I bring this up because this whole working from home notion that Adriel brought up, my first class, Adriel, is an online class.
Perfect.
Yeah, man. Like, screw online gaming. So
I'm hoping that you'll be able to log in from online. I'm finding right now, for me, for work, I logged on this morning at 5 a.m. to upload my reports because the VPN is just overloaded, bogged down when people are using it.
Is this now? I don't. You're talking
That's
fancy
company
internet
specific
words.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
There you go. So.
But I'm wondering about UNB.
A lot of the other non-company specific services have been under considerable load. I mean, like, I'm trying to work today like any other day, and there's a million people out there streaming Tiger King or something on Netflix, and and ruining my internet. Which, I mean, fill your boots, but it's making the internet a little bit busy these days.
Yeah. And then charging us more for it. I'm still pissed off about that.
Yeah. Gotta get your Tiger King though.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm not going
what?
to.
Oh my God, Kelly, you have to. You have to. Okay. Making a Murderer was awesome. Evil Genius was awesome. This is and don't frack with cats was awesome.
Yeah.
It's right up there with them. It's as good as any of those, if not better than some.
I get to live it every day. I don't really care.
No. This is a new level of crazy, even for you. For you. And Kelly, there's going to be a season 2. I'm telling you. Yeah. So,
how is it season 2?
Trust me, there's going to be a season 2.
They still got tigers, right?
Yeah. Oh, I can't. I don't. No spoilers, right? No spoilers. So, okay. Adriel, when's the last time you left the house?
Last time I left the house.
Maybe like a week.
Really?
Yeah, last weekend. Yeah.
It's been a week for me too.
Oh my God.
Oh, actually, that's totally wrong. I go out every evening. I go out at 10 p.m. and go for a 5K run around my neighborhood and come back. I see no one.
I almost don't even count that, Kelly, as leaving your house because you're still social distancing. You're not hanging out with people. You're just doing your thing, minding your business, and staying in your own little world, running around the block.
Yep.
So that's cool.
I'm probably gonna go into the bush in like a week and go shoot something because I'm there. I've got one more week in me before I got to get out there, and I don't care if it's -20. I'm gonna go shoot something. Can't go to my ranges, so I'm gonna find some spot in the bush.
-20. Are you guys not warming up yet?
It's -10, and we got a snowfall warning right now, and it's gonna be -16 tonight.
It was +10 in Halifax yesterday.
Yeah, here too.
Alberta.
Oh man, but then it switches though.
Yeah,
like your summers are as nice as, and your spring is like 3 days. It's like, oh, boom, it's just like your fall. You get no fall. It's like summer, snow.
Yep.
Weird as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I gotta get that I gotta get that
need to
6.5
fix.
Creedmoor out. I haven't had that thing out yet, and I think that's it. I gotta just need to get that guy out. I gotta reload for it. I need more ammo for that thing, and that stuff is like before they had like 200 rounds for $200 of 6.5 Creedmoor. I think Tenda had a deal like that. Not anymore. It's all gone.
No. I mean, if you're gonna do a boutique caliber like 6.5 Creedmoor, you might as well reload your own. I mean, it's not like generic 30-06 here.
It's not boutique anymore. Come on.
Oh, it still is. Come on.
No, they've got like 4 different brands of that stuff at Cabela's. Cabela's. It's not boutique anymore.
No, it's not.
I don't know, man.
So Edmonton, I'm looking at the weather for next week. Looks like sun, and plus temperatures like 4 and 5.
Ooh,
so you know what?
Fancy.
Yeah. But then again, it's Edmonton, and it's a week from now.
Yeah, so it's going to change basically.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah. So.
Oh yeah, the other thing that's hard to find right now, AR-10 mags.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Those are kind of hard to find too. But I got one. So.
What kind of AR-10? AR-10 mags. Yeah, we got some at the shop, or we had some anyway.
Yeah. Told me that last time. I gotta get some. Mm-hmm.
And because show sponsor, you get a discount on in-stock items.
Okay. Yep. I gotta get some of those.
My rifle is still in Dieppe.
Anybody looking for a Maple Ridge handguard, either 15-inch or 17-inch, or a Leupold Mark AR 1-4 scope with a Burris quick detach mount? Hit me up. I got some stuff for sale.
Sweet.
Captain Andy's just
it's a great time to buy and sell right now. If you're sitting on like a cache of like parts and that kind of thing, fantastic time. Lots of people asking me. Lots of people asking like, "Hey, do you have an AR for sale? Do you have this? Do you have that?" And it's like, "Oh yeah."
Around. My Modern Sporter's got an 18.6 inch. My SLR's got an 18.6 inch. They both weigh less than my STI 3-gun rifle, so I don't need 3 ARs or AR type platforms with 18+ inch barrels. So I'm taking the barrel, the handguard, the comp, the gas system, and the scope off of my STI 3-gun rifle, and I'm turning it into a quote-unquote duty style AR. Mm-hmm. Ben's the man. Ben sent me a link to a Maple Ridge Armory. I don't even think I told the boys. Yeah, Filthy knows everything. But the rest of the guys, I don't think they know. It was Ben, as we know, spends his days shopping with other people's money on CGN. He sent a link.
What things does he do for a job? Because
he's got a job. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to work. I don't know where he's at or what's happening. Shit, man. I hope he's still going to work.
Well, he's still, shopping for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even when he was at work, he was doing that.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily shopping for me. He's just shopping for. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I buy almost 90% of everything that he sends our way. More than 90% more than the other guys. Anyway, it's a Maple Ridge 16.1 inch barrel with a gas tube. So then I went to TNA and I got the block, a pin kit, a couple extra gas tube roll pins because I always seem to mash one up, even though I use the right pin punches and stuff, and flash hider, crush washer. Dude, that was expensive. Plus a handguard, a red handguard. Who in the F buys a red handguard? Somebody during an apocalypse who has no choice. That's who. I mean, I'm going to take it straight to Denis and go sandblast this bitch and Cerakote it. Because a red handguard, really? Anyway, whatever.
You're missing someone didn't opt for the red handguard when they got the red upper and lower. They left the handguard behind.
Anyway, I forget what the length. It was like 13.5 inch or something on a 16-inch barrel. Should look not too bad. Anyway,
here's what it looks like.
You're kind of right, So anyway, I haven't heard back from the guy. Right? It was only $140 compared to like if you buy a real good handguard like Maple Ridge, you're going to spend $3 for sure.
Yeah, but those are really nice.
Really nice. So, speaking of really nice, I've got one for sale, either a 17-inch or a 15-inch, your choice. Hit me up, let me know. And if you need a loophole scope, let me know, because I'm turning that from a 3-gun rifle into a 16-inch rifle.
You got too many. You got too many 3-gun rifles.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have one 3-gun rifle, and I shoot a lot more 3-gun than you do.
Exactly. Right. So right now, tough call between them. Probably going to go with the SLR. It's still the lightest weight. It's got a 1-4 with a little fire dot in the middle reticle. That would be my go-to. It's pretty trimmed down. Then would be my modern sporter. So, but my modern sporter will be my 7.62 x 40 WT. Okay, cool. So let me just check. I wrote some notes here to kind of keep us going. Okay, so next, what have you guys done, if anything at all, in regards to preps?
For ammo,
Prepping,
guns.
Preps, food preparation, ammo, staging, caches. Are you guys doing caches yet? Are you like storing stuff around the city for when you have to bug out and evacuate? You can just stop here and get a cache of stuff, so you don't have to leave it all. You could just leave.
No, actually, no.
Caches are important.
Caches are important, but I have kind of caches at places already.
So you have your caches set up.
Well, they're just kind of.
So you have
what I'm saying is,
around.
I have strategically. There's places that I'm going to be going to if anything shit hits the fan, basically.
Well, those are bug out locations.
I've already set that up.
Yeah,
and there's food and different things there, and there's also ammo and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. No, a cache would be somewhere you would hit along the way to there.
No.
Okay, so you got your bug out locations set up.
Right.
That's cool. Adriel, what have you done for preps? Just played online video games with Jeremy?
Yeah, played online video games. I loaded all my mags. I looked at some 9mm bullets to reload into some just bullets. Just the bullets.
Projectiles.
Just the projectile, yep.
You just saw them?
I saw them. Yeah, I saw them online. I had them in my shopping cart. And I was like, I already got 2,000 rounds. I don't really need 3 or 4.
So let me jump in for a sec there, Adriel, because there's an important email that came into our show email that's worth bringing up now. It's so important. It's too important to wait until Thursday. So we've been talking, me in particular, going, panic buy. Lead comes from China. Yep. There's no lead smelters in North America. Yep. There's no lead coming from China. Start buying stuff now. Well, we done been educated. Someone emailed the show to inform us that most of the bullets, or if not all of the bullets that are manufactured in North America, the lead that they use comes from locally sourced, recycled car batteries.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I know AC Delco, all of the lead that was produced at my local lead smelter in my region, all the lead went to AC Delco. And all of the silver, because silver is a byproduct of lead, where you find lead, you find silver, used to go to Kodak because Kodak used silver in the production of their
the film.
Million years ago,
the film, yeah. So now who buys that silver? I don't know. Well, no one, because the smelter's closed. But anyway, recycled car batteries. That's awesome. So that's a lot of recycled car batteries turned into bullets. So until all the recycled car batteries are used up,
not many people driving these days, but yeah,
okay. we're good for a while.
Yeah. I looked at what I've got for 6.5 Creedmoor components because buying the ammo by itself was expensive, and I got enough of that. So I got enough to make like a couple hundred rounds of that. So I might make some of that. That's more to try out my new gun, though. That's not like any particular prep or anything like that. I've got more than enough hunting ammo and a few thousand rounds of 223 and that kind of thing. What's that?
What do you got chambered in 6.5?
That Matrix Aerospace
you did.
Maple
you
Ridge
really did. You did that.
Kit. Absolutely, I did. Yeah, I wanted the better cartridge.
All right.
Yeah, it's a sweet gun.
I'm not saying it's not a better cartridge. I fully admit the 6.5 Creedmoor ballistically outperforms the 308 all day long.
Yep.
And yet here you are struggling to find 6.5 Creedmoor when I have. Oh, I must have 1,000 rounds of 308 downstairs.
Yeah,
No, I
but
don't.
308, right? How popular is that? It's
That's
been
the
around
whole
forever.
point, Kelly.
And
That's
forever
right.
in 2 days, right?
That's right.
6.5 is now the new, right? And
I got
all
both.
the opponents are
I got
getting.
both. I got lots of both.
Getting-
I got a couple of guns in both of these different calibers. I'm good to go. Now I'm gonna have like a couple hundred rounds. I'll just make them myself. I'll just have to assemble them, and I'll have enough for
Get the
some
kids.
hunting ammo.
223,
Kids
308,
are,
30-06. That's all a man needs.
Why? You don't need the 30-06 if you got the 308. They do the same thing. Those are over. That's
No,
overlap
they
there.
don't. No, they don't. You're applying that old adage of the 308 will now do what the 30-06 used to. Well, that's because of the new construction of bullets, and that's because of the new powders on the market, right? Well, if the 308 game got bumped up, guess what, Buttercup? So did the 30-06 game.
But do you need the extra stuff that the 30-06 is giving you? Because the 30-06 is giving you extra energy that's going into the hill behind the deer.
What if the deer's further away?
How far do you need to push that bullet before you really care about the energy?
Listen, 100 meters, if there's a moose standing at 100 meters, I still want to shoot him with a 30-06
Okay.
rather than a 308.
Okay.
That's all it's going to be at in New Brunswick, anyways.
Yeah.
Well,
I would-
maybe
like,
300, Kelly.
I would push that 308 with a 180 grain bullet or something like that way out to like 200-300, and it's still going to work on that moose.
Not as good, though. Not as good.
Ah,
But, I mean, if you're going to go 30-06, you might as well go 300 Win Mag.
Are you getting sick?
Yeah.
Am I getting sick?
Do you have a sore throat?
You-
Do you have a fever?
You got a little sniffle going on there. You okay?
I got allergies, man. I'm drinking. It's,
Okay.
you know.
Just checking.
You want to come check my temperature? Then we'll know for sure?
Yeah.
There you go. You finally get to see somebody.
And get sick at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
If you're coming all the way to New Brunswick, we're doing it rectally. I'm just saying.
Well, I think you guys will be happy probably with the news today that in Italy there's gangs roaming the streets, trying to rob places and looking for food desperately.
Let's talk about this.
This is one of the results of what a shutdown will do.
Well, I mean, there's a certain lifestyle in Europe. They don't have huge refrigerators. They go to the market every day. Italy, France, those countries are really big on that kind of lifestyle. The French just go around with a baguette in their backpack, like they eat bread all day. And that's pretty much all they live on, and cheese and wine. But it's a very different lifestyle than North America, and there's no such thing as a Costco and buying in bulk and keeping stuff for long periods of time. It's just not how they live over there. And here they are. You're told all the shops are shut down. You're told you can't leave your house. Yes, it's only a matter of time before you run out of food. And are you going to steal food by yourself? Well, there's safety and security in numbers. Gangs are a thing for a reason. Why do we have gangs in the inner city? Because, if you're by yourself, you're screwed. But if you're part of a gang, you have a network. You have safety. You have security. So if you're going to start stealing food, you might as well do it with your neighbors and form a gang. And I mean, it's just unfortunately, the natural progression of things.
Yeah. The insight around the food and the amount that they keep is interesting. I think most of them would be doing it because they don't have a job and they don't have money.
That's
because
exactly
the
it.
grocery stores are still open. You can still go get your baguette unless you can't pay for it. And now what do you
But
do?
it's the fresh, like in Italy, everybody's going to be able to make or know how to make, or they're going to have the ingredients to make certain things. And same with France. They're going to have certain things in Germany, and all of those countries will have. It's a standard, but it's the fresh stuff, and you're absolutely right. It's going to be the same thing here. People are not going to have the money, so they're going to. It's happening.
Lack of opportunity. Lack of opportunity is going to cause issues.
And what we're also seeing is actually some places right now, because stores are shut down, people are actually starting to break in and robbing them as well. Just because there's no security, there's no nothing.
Petty crime is going to go up for sure.
Companies,
absolutely, yeah. Oh yeah, businesses are shut down. People are going to be like, hey, that shit's unattended. I'm going in.
So my mom, who lives in Prince Edward Island, she runs Almost. It's a place where you can go and get clothing, appliances, food, and everything. You don't have to pay
Like a
for
general store?
No, it's like the Salvation Army, but it's not.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. So people just actually, she said, inquiries right now are up 70% because people are getting laid off, and she just doesn't have she can't supply the demand for it. So when we were talking about it last week, or whenever we were talking about the food banks and donating back to the food banks are going to be like stripped bare until this is over, or even after it's over as well, just because of
You're not kidding, because some people are going to be without a work or out of work. It's going to take a while for social programs to kick in, etc.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not going to be flush. They're probably like strapped now.
Well, those social programs only have so much legs to them too, because you think about like the government is I think they announced today that they're going to do 75% of wages for companies that are losing more than 30%, which is fine. Right. Those companies are still losing money though, and there's only some companies that can withstand a 30% revenue loss for so long. So eventually they'll be out, and then the government will be 100% responsible for wages, and
can't be.
There's that can only last so long.
Can we go
before you dial that down, and then people get less money than they need.
All right, going forward, I'd like to establish the rules of engagement. Can we stop saying the government is going to be responsible? The government funnels the money from my paycheck to other people. The government is not responsible for anything other than that.
Well, they'll be taking out a loan, or they'll be printing money to pay for this.
Which doesn't work, either of them.
They can't. They're not going to print money unless they just can't and won't print money. If they print money, I'm moving to Antarctica, because it'll be the stupidest thing done since World War II. We know it does not work. I just want to remind everyone in this time of crisis, nothing is government funded. It's all taxpayer funded, and it's all coming out of our paychecks. Okay. And I'm hearing that this is the only country that is proposing a tax increase during a pandemic. Is it true they're going to up the carbon tax by 50%?
That was already in the plans, though. Yeah. That was already. They're just not changing their plans because of the pandemic.
So prior to COVID-19, doubling the carbon tax was already in the plans?
Yeah.
That
was already in the plans.
And how were they justifying it before COVID-19?
Climate change.
Yeah.
Okay, making me pay more at the gas pump doesn't.
It's even worse. Like at least at the gas pump, you can choose not to drive. Like in Alberta,
no, you can't choose not to drive. We don't all live.
You could choose not to drive.
Asshole! I can't walk to work. It's a 20-minute drive. You dick! How the fuck am I going to get to work? I can't choose not to drive.
Just get on your bike.
We don't have a GO train.
Come on, Trevor. Just bike there. Don't worry about it.
A bike there. Bike to hell, moron! It doesn't work like that. You can't choose.
Get up 2 hours extra early, and just go and bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, I guess I could choose not to heat my house with natural gas too, because that's really going to get nailed with
what other options do you have for your home? Zero.
Nothing that's like economical. Nothing that's like, because
it's
cold here, right?
Right.
Yeah, electricity.
You're going to get screwed. All right.
So I'm going to move back to the homestead. It was a 2-story, 150-year-old farmhouse with a wood stove in the kitchen. I swear to God, the first 3 years I was married, that's how we lived. We lived in a 150-year-old farmhouse with a root cellar and a wood stove in the kitchen, and you had to keep the fire going all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, Kelly. It is perfect right now. And my Buggo location in 1999, when Y2K was coming and we all thought the world was going to end, and I was buying a bunch of canned food. I was a student living in an apartment university, stocking up for 2 months before on canned food, bought a battery-powered radio, and my plan was get in the car and drive there, because my logic was that place was built and designed to be operated before electricity, so I can keep that thing going without electricity. And anyway, you're on a farm. There's acreage with lots of hardwood. Cut your fuel, heat up that, but that's not, it's just not.
Okay.
No.
So I'm going back to what you were going to say, what you were saying about government taxes, etc. Right? About you funding. You're absolutely right. We're funding this. It's going to be the people who are working that's funding this. You got to think about that. There's right now the prediction is 30% unemployment rate right now, or going up to 35% over the next little bit. That is like Depression era unemployment, and essentially you and I, who are I'm going to have a job. I'm lucky.
So am I.
Right? But I'm going to be essentially the working poor to fund these programs.
That's right.
And I can't do that. I sent something to my MP stating that. I said,
good for you.
You can't do this. You can't go in and give carte blanche, basically, because I can't afford it. I can't afford to live now. Imagine what's going to happen, in 2 years from now, when you still have this open bill where you can take, taxes and just blow them through the roof. I can't afford it. I couldn't afford it.
No, I mean, you guys, listen, Campbellton is a shit place to live. But because it's a shit place to live, you guys have been in my house. You see my house. Nice house, right? It's not bad. Yeah, my mortgage is less than $600 a month. Because it's in Campbellton. Adriel's like, Adriel just blew a gasket, right?
In Alberta.
Yeah.
Well, I was lucky when I bought when I did, because mine's pretty cheap too compared to.
Like we.
I live in Ontario, and it's stupid. Go.
Yeah, when we bought this, when we were house shopping, we called around for insurance, and the insurance company called us back and said, "Yeah, we need to check some numbers here. All right, what's up?" Well, the house you want to buy is $93,000, right? Yes. Well, based on the square footage, if we had to replace that house today, it would cost $486,000. And well, how could you be buying a house that big for $93,000? And I just said, "Lady, do you know where Campbellton, New Brunswick is?" And she's like, "No." Well, there you go. And that's how I can buy a house for $93,000 that has a replacement cost of $486,000. Well, we're not insuring it. Well, dummy, give me a premium on the replacement costs for $486,000. I'll pay it. Well, can't do that. Our premiums are designed on what you pay. Well, that's an asinine system you've got there. Shouldn't you be charging me for what it costs to replace the house, not for what I paid for it? Well, sorry, sir, can't help you.
Yeah.
All right then. Anyway, we ended up going through a smaller local firm, thankfully. Otherwise, how could you get insurance around here? Especially since, the next town over, they burn their houses every 6 months, so they get new ones.
Yeah. I lived in New Brunswick. Remember, down in Armagh, Majorville, Sheffield area? Holy jeez.
Even there, though.
Maybe not
there, but yeah.
Flood.
Yeah.
Fredericton.
Yeah, and everybody still builds on the floodplain.
I know, it's crazy.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
It's beautiful.
I didn't know it's going to flood. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're an idiot. You live on a riverbank. You didn't know it was going to flood.
They do the same thing in Calgary.
Yeah.
What's that, Adriel?
They do the same thing in Calgary. Build on a floodplain. Complain later when it gets flooded.
All right. So,
anyways,
before we go to the topic, have you guys done anything kind of gun-related since last time we spoke?
Gun-related? No. I'm still waiting for my guns. No.
This is so going live works when you get texts from listeners going, "I paid $60,000 for mine and it came with an acre of land."
Where at? I need to know.
Who?
Yeah, where at? I need to know.
Oh, Dundee.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful home too. That's awesome. Yeah, 2-car garage, like 4-bedroom, got a bar in the basement. It's amazing. All right, you guys do anything gun related?
No.
No, not really.
Losers.
When did we talk? Thursday.
We gotta work.
You're working from home.
What else
I
did I
work
do?
every day.
No, I haven't done anything.
Nothing. All right.
Oh, I have
Okay.
a shooting date, but I'm gonna wait till Thursday to talk about it.
Oh, fair enough. That's good. All right. I know
They talk
Adriel.
about shooting sometime. And it's gonna be
Adriel's not a
Thursday.
prepper, and he gets butthurt when we don't talk about gun stuff. So I thought I'd better, give him the opportunity. And all he did was talk about gaming. So screw him.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Okay, so we have Corey Johnson. He wants to know about what you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited actually about prepping. I'm going back to my childhood. I love this. So
Yeah, because
really
people
lazy.
your age had no choice.
shut the hell up.
They had to bottle preserves.
You know
Preserves,
what?
my God, do you remember?
Gonna do preserves. Gonna,
Yes,
like,
that's what they
jar some
called it.
stuff
They
up.
would
Yeah.
they would
Yeah.
bottle vegetables and
Yeah.
make jams. Yep, preserves. Oh
yeah,
my God.
crab apple jelly.
Yeah.
And we would grow all our food in a big old plot out back. And
Yeah.
yep.
Trevor, you were talking about what you did at in '99 there, just as we went over to Y2K. I was at a party. That's like where I'm at with how worried I was over that.
Say that again, Adriel. You what?
I was at a party.
You were at a party?
That's what I was doing for my Y2K. Yeah, I had prepped nothing and I was at a party.
You were one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Have you prepped anything this time though?
I got some ammo ready and I got some, like, I don't know, food and water and whatever.
Can I ask?
Mhm.
So how much water do you have? Because you have a family.
I don't know, like 40 liters.
Jesus.
Enough. We
I
got
have
snow, and if I completely run out of water, I drive an hour and a half, and I'm
Down
good
to your
to go.
parents.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 200 liters for myself and the dogs.
Oh my God, Kelly.
What?
Wow. Well, that's all. I got 100, right? I got 100, and
Well, I figure
no.
my kids might come home too.
Actually, I had 100 the first time we had Ian on, and I bought 30 more. But I have lots of containers, food grade containers, on standby, and then I've got probably 16 5-gallon buckets. These buckets are my squad buckets for IPSC matches. They're what we normally put the timers and the staplers and the tablets and all the stuff the squad needs to get through an IPSC match.
Mhm.
So they're food grade buckets. They come from Tim Hortons. They're 5-gallon. What I don't have, unfortunately, is lids. But what I would do with those is I would fill them up and keep them in the washroom and
Some
use them
saran
for
wrap.
flushing.
Put some saran
Yep.
wrap on top of them.
I thought about that, Adriel. If I needed them for drinking water,
Mhm.
but they're so contaminated, I'd have to start cleaning them with bleach and stuff to get all
But
the
you can use it for like flushing the toilet. You can
And
use
washing.
it for yeah.
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 Yeah,
Well,
just don't drink them.
You plebs have nothing on Tim. He's got 15,000 gallons in his pool.
Yeah.
Yep. You
Yeah.
guys are not prepped. He's prepped.
I dare Tim to drink some of that water while he's getting suntanned in Texas, the bastard.
You'll need all that water.
Yeah.
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 So,
I had a question for you guys. What are you buying? So
chicken wings.
yeah, chicken wings. I did do that. I went and bought chicken wings, ground beef. I'm individually packaged them, putting them in a big. Anyways, so those are the types of prepping stuff too. But what types of things are you buying? For example, like, I'm buying extra bleach. I'm buying Dettol, which we used. I was a Girl Guide, and a brownie and all that. And we would clean our dishes with, water and a couple of drops of Dettol.
Diddle?
Dettol. D-E-T.
Dead all.
Dettol. Yeah.
Dead all? That's what I'm naming my
Dettol.
ammo from now on. This is a box of dead all.
No, you can get it at you can even get it at the dollar store.
What's it
It's
made of?
Dettol.
Is this like borax, something that people over 50 know about,
No.
but nobody else does?
Shut up about that too, because I can make my own soap too with borax.
I don't even know what borax is. Hook, line, sinker.
Yeah.
On the boat.
I got a
Clever.
recipe for that. I got recipes. Okay, so I have recipes for that. I've got
It's frightening. It's frightening.
Hey, you know what? I can go to the bug out location and not have to worry about anything.
You know what I like?
What?
We actually lived in New Brunswick at the same time, but while you were in university, I was in
Shut
middle
up.
school.
Yeah, but I excelled in school.
So? Doesn't make you any younger.
Yeah, but we were talking about it. You stayed for a victory lab, didn't you?
Though, yeah, sure did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nicely phrased. Good for you. Oh, you're so nice.
Here, I put the link in the chat.
To a borax soap recipe?
No, to Dettol. It's basically you can
Disinfect stuff?
disinfects everything.
It's an antiseptic.
It's an antiseptic. So we used to use it.
Really?
We would get water out of the lake,
Yep.
put a few drops in it, right, and clean our dishes. Yeah.
Water. That's an episode we got to do with the whole iodine or life straw, that sort of stuff. We gotta get somebody on talk water. Owen was always good about water.
Yeah.
He was always about having 3 different ways to get water.
Yeah.
So tell me why McClatchy is not coming on. Because I mean, what the hell else can he do right now? He's got to be out of excuses.
Fine.
She's home. He's home.
He's flying.
He's all out of excuses.
He's doing a lot of flying, actually.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I know
he
he
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
That's a
lucky
useful
for him,
skill.
we record multiple times a week. So surely to God, he's not up in the sky every day.
Mm-hmm.
you're the one that's in New Brunswick. Call him up.
I would call him the same way you would, jackass, on Facebook. It doesn't matter what
Faster.
province you're in. That's a moot point.
Less
That's
distance.
ridiculous.
Less distance for the connection. It's a better connection.
Jesus Christ.
The switchboard
Social
operator for
distancing for
Facebook.
How much have you been drinking
Patch you right
tonight?
in.
Listen, I was tired and I was not going to come on, so it was either don't come on or come on and get ripped. So here we are. And see if
I
I
have
there.
24 mason jars full of apple pie moonshine.
Ooh, that's good prepping.
Yeah, that's my prepping.
That really is good prepping.
Because what if the government shuts down the liquor stores?
They will never shut down the liquor
No, they
stores
can't,
or the
actually.
cannabis stores because of the tax revenue generated.
Yep.
It took an apocalypse for me to go to the cannabis store. What an experience that was. Story for another time, maybe? I don't know, but it was interesting. So I'm in line with Christina. I got to tell this part of the story.
Okay.
I'm in line with Christina, and we're at the counter, and we're like, haven't got a goddamn clue about anything. We are the most out of place people you've ever seen. We don't know. We don't know shit about shit. We do not belong in here. I look over my shoulder. I see this dude in line, and it's like, they only sell marijuana, right? Like, this dude is methed out, cracked out, heroined out. I looked at Christina like, don't look around. Don't look back. What's she do? She looks back. Don't look back. But the guy back there at the door right now, he's here because he needs to be. You've just seen this guy.
Was he twitching?
Oh, pretty much, man. Like,
Yeah.
I thought his skin was crawling. Like, he looked like shit. Like, one look at him should have made us just leave. Is this what happens when you get an edible addiction? I don't. Let's get out of here.
No.
It's another addiction.
I'll tell you what, though. I've had a sore back for months.
Oh dear.
And it's been on and off and on and off. And I thought it was heartburn from the high-fat keto diet because it's always right between my shoulder blades. Like, I've got 2 herniated discs in my lower back, and I actually blew out a disc once and was hospitalized and the whole 9 yards. I know what back pain is. And this pain between my shoulder blades is nothing like the pain in my lower back from the spinal stenosis and the ruptured disc and stuff. It's totally different.
Holy geez, you're old.
No, you're old. I'm beaten up. Motocross, BMX, skateboard, downhill skiing, bar fights, whatever. I've been beaten up. Anyway, Kelly,
So you were standing in line.
No, you injected
pain
one
in the back.
marijuana,
Pain
and
in the
your
back.
back pain went away.
the CBD oil, Adriel.
Oh, yeah.
I started taking 20 milligrams of CBD oil a day, 10 in the morning and 10 at night.
You sleeping?
And within 2 days, that pain in my back that was causing me to have to stop reloading, they would hit me at the shop. I was like, it's got to be food related, right? I leave work, I go to the shop, right around supper time, it would hit me. I wouldn't eat at the shop, but when I would eat, it would go away. It's not that I would eat and it would go away. I would stop working. I was constantly working with my arms, my hands, right? Pain in my shoulder blade. Come and go, would never really seem to bother me throughout the day, but in the evening, it would bother me. I'm working in the basement, and it started coming like throughout the day, but mostly at the end of the day again, and it would like shut me down. I'd have to stop reloading. 2-3 days of taking CBD oil, and
how high is your countertop?
I'm not sure, Kelly. I had a workbench put in when we renovated the basement, and the guys who put it in, I don't know, Kelly. I'm assuming they put it at whatever the
regular countertop height.
Right.
If you raise it a little bit, you won't get that pain either.
You know where it comes from the most is actually when I work on my single stage press. And with my single stage press, I'm actually sitting down on an old computer office chair and working, doing powder charge with my right hand, and I'm running the press with my left hand. And I'm off of the single stage press and back onto the progressive press. So and that switchover happened the same time as the CBD. So it was standing up, but I stood up at the shop. When I was standing at the shop, it never hurt that's when my back would hurt.
Yeah.
So like you're only supposed to change one variable at a time. I'm sitting, I'm doing the single stage stuff. My back started to hurt. I started taking the CBD the same time I got up on my feet and moved across the room to the progressive press stuff. So I don't know.
Ergonomics maybe as well.
Could be, but anyway, couple of 3 days of
smoke the devil's lettuce and call it a day.
No, dude,
what are you doing at the ergonomics? Just smoke the devil's lettuce. It's fine.
It's drops under your tongue.
Okay,
it drops under your tongue.
That's a fancy way of doing the devil's lettuce, but all right.
It says THC on it, but there's no THC. You can't get high from CBD oil.
Not really, no.
Unless you smoke it, maybe. I don't know. All right, let's get into the topic for this show, should we?
Oh shit!
We have a topic?
Well, we do. We actually have a topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just didn't call you guys to hang out. Like, we have things to do.
We were supposed to start talking about reloading.
That's right. Let's talk about that. Reloading, but reloading for the apocalypse.
Yep.
And it's Kelly, it was your idea, and it's a fantastic idea, and I'll tell you why. As someone who reloads as a hobby for competition, for precision, for his quote-unquote target rifles and hunting rifles, I do a lot of reloading. But never more than I have since all of this social distancing and isolation thing has started. And definitely, I have changed a few things. Things that used to matter because of OCD suddenly don't matter anymore. And some things matter more than before. So let me explain what I mean here. So right now, I can't speak to everyone else, but I'm reloading in bulk. Okay, so I am processing hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces of brass at a time. And because I'm processing so much brass, I am skipping certain steps, and brass prep, there's a little bit less brass prep. So, for example, my bolt action 308 brass. It doesn't take... So, you've got to lube your brass, you got to resize it, and you got to trim it. Now, after that, there's other things you can do that don't seem to matter right now.
I would argue that you might even be able to get away with not trimming it, unless it's too long and it's getting into the chamber. So,
Adriel, you're not wrong. There are tolerances. 308, for example, minimum 2.005, maximum 2.015. All right. I've reloaded so much, I have those numbers memorized. So you could simply resize all of your brass, set your calipers to 2.015, and check each individual piece and skip the trimming process.
Heck, if it was just for a bolt action, you could just use you could neck size them, call it a day.
Only, Adriel, if that brass was fired in your gun.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a bunch of brass that you've been accumulating over the years that you picked up at the range, you don't know where it came from, you must full length resize.
Correct. Yeah.
If it's for your gun, you're going to neck size only anyway for a whole pile of other reasons. So
unless you want interchangeability, like if you want interchangeability with other 308s, then you full length size everything.
Right.
Pop a bullet on. You might trim because you want to crimp to the bullet if you're going to run it in the semi-auto. For a bolt action, you don't even need to crimp though. You could just put the bullet in there and call it a day.
Well, Adriel, okay, a couple of things there. I don't crimp for some of my semi-autos because of the bullet. If a bullet doesn't have a cantilever, I don't crimp because there's no point. Interchangeability. The only time you're going to neck size only is if that ammo that you're loading is going into the gun that brass came out of. Otherwise, you're going to full length resize anyway. So if you have a bunch of brass, let's say you got a bunch of brass, Adriel, that you picked up, collected over the years that you suddenly have to turn into 308, and you want to save some time and not trim it, then you set your calipers to the maximum trim length for 308, and after you resize it all, you set up at your trim station, you take a piece, you measure it. If it goes through the calipers, throw it in the bucket to be turned into ammo. If it doesn't go through the calipers, trim it, then throw it in the bucket after you chamfer and deburr. So you're never going to get away from trimming completely, but you could go with that tolerance, right? There's a tolerance for a reason. 2.005 is the minimum, 2.015 is the maximum. Set your calipers to that, call it good. And this will work especially well if you're working with a bullet without a cantilever. If you have a bullet with a cantilever, then you've got to adjust your seating depth because if your seating depth is adjusted to seat a bullet into a case that is trimmed to the minimum length, it won't crimp properly. If you then suddenly put a bullet into that case that is the maximum length, your cantilever is not going to work. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's where you run into the situations where you crimp and you bulge out the shoulders because the case was too long for what you had set. So
that's right.
If you're gonna crimp them, you might as well trim them all to the same length because otherwise it makes crimping a pain in the butt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you are loading for a bolt gun and you're not going to crimp, this system that we're describing works great because really it doesn't matter how long the brass is if you're not crimping it. But what Adriel said about bulging out the shoulders, what he's referring to is, let's say I've got my crimp die set for the minimum length of 308 brass of 2.005. So a piece of brass comes up into the body of the crimp die and it is trimmed to 2.005. It will crimp, no problem. But if the brass is longer than 2.005, it's going to, the mouth of the neck of the case is going to strike the body of the die and be pushed down sooner than it's supposed to. And what happens is it pushes the case neck down, which then pushes the shoulder out, creating a lip or a ridge that is not going to chamber into your gun.
And it looks real stupid too.
Yeah, and no one cares what it looks like. It's just not going to work. So that's one thing you can do for a bolt gun. If you're shooting into a semi, if you're shooting with a bullet with a cantilever, you do have to trim them all the same length. So if you're using a hand trimmer, God love you. I hope you're not trimming a whole lot because it's a very time-consuming process of chucking up the brass, trimming it, taking it out, throwing it in the bucket,
those lead
putting
ones
another
are a
one
pain
in.
in the butt. like those Lee Pilot ones. You can do a bunch at the same
They're
time.
so garbage. They're garbage. They don't last.
If somebody's going to be setting up for all of this, what are some of the things that you're recommending that they got? Like,
hey, get your hands on a world's finest trimmer.
Yeah.
The thing about the world's finest trimmer is, I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible. The world's finest trimmer measures off of the shoulder. So you take a piece of brass that has been full length resized and the shoulder pushed back to where it's supposed to be according to Sammy spec. You drop the trimmer on it and it sits on the shoulder of the case. The trimmer works with a end mill. An end mill is a cutting bit used in mill work. You drop the end mill down into the body of the trimmer. It sits onto the neck of the case, which has already been trimmed to the length you want, and you lock it down. That world's finest trimmer is now supposed to be adjusted to trim all of your cases to the length of that case. The problem is that brass is a metal, and it's kind of a compound. It's not really like a element. It's not.
Composite.
Right.
It's got like
copper
thank you. And tin and some other crap in there.
That's it. And from batch to batch, it changes.
It changes.
What's that, Kelly?
It changes.
Yeah, it changes. And one of the things that changes is its elasticity or bounce back. So even, let's say I got 100 pieces of Federal, but they're not all from the same lot and they weren't all made from the same batch of brass. They bounce back at different rates after being resized. So the shoulder, even though I got 5 pieces that were all resized in the same die, they don't all come out identical. And because the shoulder doesn't bounce back identically from case to case, I will not get the same trim length from case to case when using the world's finest trimmer. If you use a trimmer that goes from the head stamp to the neck, you will get the same length every time because we're measuring from the back of the case to the front of the case. The world's finest trimmer, unfortunately, does not do that. And so you'll get some pieces that will be cut too short, some pieces that won't cut at all.
Too short. You can do lots at once. You can do lots at once.
You can do lots at once, and you can live with the too short. You can't live with the too long because you get that shoulder bump thing. So what we want to do here is we want to avoid having to case gauge each piece of ammo after it's produced, which is part of the quality control here. If you're going to produce a whole pile of ammo that you're taking to the Big Igloo, you want to make sure that it's always going to work in... Did you just stifle a sneeze?
No, I just yawned.
Oh, you yawned with your mouth closed. That was hilarious. I want the listeners to go back and look at that.
Listeners, look.
Listeners, look. I want the listeners to go on YouTube and look at Adriel stifling a yawn. It was hilarious.
Everybody's going, okay, are you sick? Are you sick?
Sick. Anyway, we're trying to make ammo as quickly as possible and eliminate a few things, but we can't eliminate quality control because no matter what we make ammo for, we always want that ammo to chamber. And I case gauge stuff. Like right now, I'm going through 2,000 rounds of 45 ACP, doing the plunk test. The plunk test is the poor man's test. It's the hobo test. It's when you can't afford a hundo that does 100 at a time. What do? You take the barrel of the firearm that ammo is going to go in. You remove the barrel from the firearm. You drop them in one at a time. I did 500 today and wanted to kill myself. It was so awful. What do? You take a tablet. You set a tablet up on your workbench. You put it on Netflix. You go 1, 2. Oh man, it's asinine. Anyway, yeah. So some of the things you can skip though. You can skip turning necks. You can skip deburring flash holes. You can skip uniforming flash holes. You can skip uniforming primer pockets. This is not necessary for what we're doing. If we're loading bulk ammo for plinking, for having 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 rounds of something on hand, you can skip these steps because those are steps needed to try and get sub MOA. So like skip all those steps. So brass prep, you can cut some corners, but you got to make sure the overall length of the case is within the specs, especially if you're going to crimp on a bullet with a cantilure. You got to make sure that brass you've never fired in your bolt action gun has been full length resized. You got to get the lube off those cases. You still have to do all that stuff. Okay. Progressively resizing is wonderful. It speeds up process if you have access to a progressive press. The other thing is no fancy powder charges. And what I mean by no fancy powder charges is you take a bunch of you're developing a load for your gun. You're going to go in between 23 and 24 grains of powder, let's say, for a 77 grain 223 bullet, depending on the powder. The powder range may be between 23 and 25 grains. Some people will literally go 23, 23.5, 24, 24.5, 25. And they'll test those. And then, let's say 23 is good, 23.5 is better, 24 is bad. They're going to go back and they're going to go between 23 and 23.5, and they're going to load 23.1, 23.2, 23.2 or 3, and they're going to load 5 of each at 8 increment to really narrow down the optimal powder charge for that bullet, for that gun, for that node, to get the best harmonics out of that barrel. We're not doing that now. Okay? We're going to go with, let's say the max charge is 24.5. We're loading 24.5. Or if it's 27.2, we're loading 27. If we don't have time to get to the range and test stuff, I'll give you a prime example. I took my a bolt action gun and a semi-automatic gun to Filthy's range a week ago today. And I started with the max charge on both those guns. And thankfully, the max charge was the most accurate. And the max charge for both ended up being a round number. It was like 26 grains for one, 43 grains for the other. Done. Done. Yeah. Go home. You adjust your powder measure to throw a nice round number, 23, 46, whatever. If you get... Normally, when I'm loading ammunition and I want 46.1 grains of powder, that's all I will accept is 46.1. Right now, 46 is good. 46.2 is also good.
Your OCD is not out of control with it?
Nope. There's no time for OCD right now.
46.2 is better. 46 is good. 46.2 is better. Get that little extra stank on it.
No, not necessarily. But, basically, just keep it nice round numbers. 45, 46, 23, 37, whatever. Just that's good right now. No fancy powder charges. And as I said earlier, trim lengths, close enough. Find your minimum, find your maximum, resize your cases, and you got a choice. You can set your trimmer and throw it all in, either cuts or it doesn't, or you can take 2 buckets, take your brass, measure, this bucket needs to be trimmed, this bucket does not. Start loading the bucket that does not need to be trimmed because it's within spec. Get to the bucket that needs to be trimmed later. Next thing we want to do with all this ammunition. If we're loading for semi-auto, that is magazine fed, like a 223. If you can get your hands on stripper clips and for 223 are the bomb. Mm-hmm. You store your ammo on these 10-round clips in buckets. Go to YouTube and look how to store 223 or 5.56 on clips in ammo cans, and it'll show you exactly how to stack them to get 1,000 rounds in a can, or depending on the size of the can. So you get a bunch of stripper clips, you get a mag feeder or a mag filler, whatever. You throw all your ammo on stripper clips, throw them in the can, take one of those magazine feeders, throw it in the can. Label the can. Your cans should always be labeled because a lot of those cans look the same and a lot of those cans have had the some numbers ground off because some of those cans aren't supposed to fall off the back of a truck, but they do, and they end up in army surplus stores or gun shops or whatever. And they say 7.62 or 5.56. A lot of them say blank on them. Never mind all that stuff that says on them. Spray paint that black or whatever. Get out some tape and a marker or just a marker and write, 223, 55 grain Campro, 26 grains of 8335, and the overall length, if you want to get specific. So, because this stuff's not going to get used for years, and you may want to replicate it because it works really good in your gun, record the data, but don't record the load data on a spreadsheet. Don't record the load data on a Post-it note. Record the load data on the can. This is what's in this can. You got.
Or even better, grab one of those stickers that comes with like a case, or some bullets have them, and write it down on that and stick it to the inside of the lid.
Spear's really good for that, Adriel. You buy a box of Spear bullets and they got that decal right in there.
Nice and small.
Or as Matthew would call it, a decal. So, this is the carbine decal decal. Anyway, you got a bunch of ammo cans on the ground. You're leaving. You want to grab an ammo can. It helps if at a glance you can just look down and go, oh, that's the 45 can, that's the 223 can, that's the 9mm can. So just saying what's in the cans is good, but again, it's going to be years before you use this stuff. You're loading now because you think the world has come to an end. You need thousands of rounds of ammunition. You don't. But anyway,
when you end up using it for competition because you didn't use it at the end of the world, you'll be thankful that they're on stripper clips, because when you go to a match and you finish shooting your stage, you're going to take your magazines, you're going to put your spoon on your mag, you're going to take your stripper clips and you're going to zip them in there, or you're going to use one of those strip lulas and you're going to load your mags like nobody's business. Nice and fast. Love it. Yeah. Love it for 3-gun.
Love it. Me too. Yeah. Every can gets a loader. I've got a loader for every can. I got one of those strip lulas. The rest are all the
little metal spoons.
Or
do you use the plastic ones?
I use the plastic one.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The spoon is ridiculous.
It's terrible. But yeah, I use those too.
I got the plastic ones.
Yeah.
So, but label it. Not just label on the outside that's 223. If you're a hand loader, write the data on the inside so you know what is in there when it comes time to recreate it.
Make some more. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I got.
I mean, I think what a lot of people are doing right now, a lot of people who are reloading you've got more time on your hands because you're inside all the time. You might as well make some more ammo. You might as well take all that brass you had sitting around, process it all, make a pile of stuff, make it to like reliable quality, and you'll
Adriel,
eventually
you know
use
how bad it is?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, I'm loading a lot of ammo, but I also have tens of thousands of pieces of 223 brass. I'm sorting it by head stamp.
Might as well, because what's going to happen? What's going to happen is you're going to find some stuff has a factory crimp on the primer pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do that stuff last. Do all the stuff that doesn't have the crimp, because that's way easier, way faster to make.
Yep, but I do have a
crimp remover,
primer pocket reamer that mounts to my 650 where the primer seating punch would be. It's a punch that sticks up through that in the tool head, and it reams the primer pocket as it goes by.
Yeah, nice. That's very nice. That's a pain in the butt activity to do to 223.
It really is.
Yeah, one of the people on the stream is just asking where I get those stripper clips. I got mine off eBay. I think there's a place in the States that will ship you the thermal ones, the plastic ones.
Yeah,
and those are the better ones. The metal ones bend. The little brass tabs on them
break
off eventually. The plastic ones are the better ones. But
tell that person to PM me.
Oh, okay, there you go. PM Trevor. There, you just did. I guess I did too.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I think right now people are probably just reloading because they have the time in their hands. So you might as well do it, right? I made up 500 rounds of 38 special, and I don't have a 38, but I had the cases and I had the bullets. So
yep.
So I made a pile.
I am. Yeah.
Make up some 6.5, make up some 223, maybe if I get real desperate for something to do, because I hate processing 223 brass. Just with like the fact you gotta there's just too many things. I'm so lazy. Maybe if the price of ammo goes up, maybe if the price of 223 goes up quite a bit, then I'll be more motivated to build it.
I mean, I still prefer to load my own anyway. I've got 500 223 Cam Pro projectiles to turn into ammo, and I got 2 pounds of powder. So hold on.
I think I got 2,000 Cam Pro 223 that are just sitting in their boxes waiting for me to do something with them. And I'll
14,000 grains divided by 26 grains, 538. Yeah, so with 2 pounds of powder, I have enough to do 500 bullets for sure. But what I don't have is, and this is the last of my black sheep brass. And I know I don't have 500 pieces there. So I'm going to those buckets. And I've got a bucket of resized brass, but it's mixed. And Kelly, there's still some OCD going on. So I'm not actually going to use that that bucket of mixed brass.
Yeah.
What I have is, you remember those cases and cases and cases of Norinco 5.56 223 that came in?
Oh, yeah, the CJ95 stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? It's I cronied it. It's legit 3,200 feet per second stuff. So it's going the right ballistics. Anyway, the beauty of that stuff is the primer pockets are not crimped.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a buddy of mine that has a pile of that stuff. He's got a stack about yay tall.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how you measure CJ95. It's like, how big's a stack? It's like, oh, if you're standing about that tall. Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. We're at $250. So that's what I'm going to use.
Gonna make any hunting ammo?
I did. Oh, I did. Yeah, so I've got a Savage 110 in 30-06 with a Vortex Viper HS on it. Love that gun. And my preferred load is a Hornady 165 grain HST?
HST.
SST? SST. Thank you, Adriel. SST.
Cheap ballistic tip that they've got.
That's right.
Yeah.
And 165 grain SST on top of 52 grains of 4064, and it shoots under an inch all day to an inch, 3/4 to an inch all day. Yeah, I loaded up 200 rounds.
That should be enough. Yeah.
Like I have a bunch. Dude, you and I both know most people never shoot their hunting rifle 100 times in their entire life or in the entire life of the rifle. It's a hunting rifle. Zero it, take it hunting, put it away. Take it out, double check the zero, take it hunting.
Maybe double check the zero.
Maybe, yeah. The FUDs don't double check the zero. So, yeah, dude. I went full retard on the brass, right? I had all matching Winchester brass, all trimmed to the same length, all had the primer pocket uniformed, all had the primer flash hole deburred. I even started turning the necks. I bought a Sinclair Wilson $350 neck turning tool. I know. So I got a bunch of match grade 30-06 for my hunting rifle. But when all this started, it was like, yeah, where's my 30-06 brass? This is a Remington piece. This is a Winchester piece. This is a Federal piece. I don't care. It's an Imperial. It'll
plunk a moose from 100 yards.
Absolutely. I have 3 lifetime supplies of 30-06 for that gun. And then I loaded 200 to 300 rounds of 30-06 for my M1 Garand. Then I've got
using like FMJ or a soft point or
Campro 147 grain.
Yeah.
Then I loaded the other 300 for my either M14 or my Stag 10 147 grain Campro 308s. I also have a spam can of Norinco 223. No, sorry, Norinco 7.62 by 51 steel case, non-corrosive,
nice and cheap. Yeah,
nice. My M14 loves it.
I should have bought some more when it came out. I only bought like 500 rounds, and I used it, and I just like, I'll use better stuff. But it was okay. It was fine.
Yeah. I can't wait to get to the range in the spring and try the my hand loads, which are 44 grains of Varget with a 147 grain Campro. My Stag 10 shot them 2-3 inches. I'm happy with that. Whatever, for what it is. With that M14 that I have, with the Norinco steel case, 150 grain stuff, iron sights I could shoot between 3 and 4 inches, all rested and stuff on the bench, which I think is phenomenal. Iron sights, cheap Norinco steel case ammo. I can't wait to see if my hand loads do any better. Load development with iron sights is ridiculous.
It's because there's too many other variables. I can like with the Garand or the M14s, I can usually do pretty well with those sights. I like the that peep style, nice long sight radius on them. I find like long range for 200-300 yards with those ones very easy to shoot steel. Whereas with your traditional like blade and notch, it's a little bit tougher to make hits way out there.
Yeah, I need a scope to really try and
get the accuracy out and really test it out. But yeah, or you just run iron sight accuracy, and that's good enough on like a nice big square target out to 300 yards, and easy and repeatable to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we done on this topic on reloading?
Yeah, we're done on this.
Anything else? When's our next show? Just so that people know.
We have a guest lined up for Wednesday night to talk about nutrition during the apocalypse.
There we go.
And Kelly, are you on Tinder? Like, what are you doing?
She's probably working.
She forgot that she's on mute.
She's been chiming in, and we've just been like super rude, not saying anything.
Nope, sorry. Yeah. I was not on Tinder. I was shopping for reloading stuff.
Good for you.
I know.
Oh my God, there's a Colt Python shell. There's a Colt Python shell from 1977 on CDM right now. Somebody is broke as shit because of the apocalypse. It's a 6-inch 1977, and he's not doing the whole. He's kind of doing the Walking Dead pricing. Friggin' Rick. $3,200 firm. Woo! You're not firm. I told you guys one of my first guns was a Colt Python, right? And I was retarded and sold it.
Yeah. Gonna happen.
Yeah.
That was very, very new.
All right.
Well, we're going to be here on Wednesday, everybody, at around 7 o'clock, or it means afterwards, because we never start on time.
Around 7 o'clock if you're in Ontario.
Yes.
True. Well, that's all that matters. Anyways, it's
center of the universe.
Center of the universe.
7 o'clock. Center of the universe time.
Yeah. Yep. And then we'll have a regular show on Thursday.
Cool. See you guys on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll be here.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye. Bye, everybody.